Hello and welcome to the Hooniverse and to a brand new video. Now when I'm not watching an ancient and ridiculously smart walking mystery, team up with a range of younger sidekicks as they travel to different worlds and fight aliens in Doctor Who, I watch Adult Swim's hit animated sci-fi dark comedy which follows the adventures of Rick and Morty. If you've never heard of the show, you just think of Back to the Future and take out pretty much all of the heartwarming stuff. Actually, you know what, no, forget the Back to the Future thing. The show follows Rick, an inventor, scientist and smartest man in the known and unknown universe who travels through dimensions with his teenage grandson Morty, as they get into scrapes from toppling an intergalactic government to diving into dreams, bonding with dragons, and not to mention a whole episode where Rick turns himself into a pickle. The show has everything you could want from sci-fi for an immature, mature audience, as the series mocks and shakes up some of cinema's best and worst ideas, with brilliant animation and outstanding creativity, and a lot of swearing, belching and mind-blowing moments. So, with a new trailer for what is part 2 of series 4 of the show just released, I thought it'd be a fun idea to try and break down the trailer, looking for references, clues and giving commentary on what is sure to be fantastic 5 episodes. The trailer starts to the beat of The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. It's no snake jazz, but it'll do. Straight away we have this eye-catching zoom as we get to look at hundreds of Ricks wearing red and gold robes, perhaps an army of radicalised Ricks from the remnants of the Citadel of Ricks. On their right are an army of Meeseeks, creatures that live to serve their purpose so that they can die. I can't make out what creatures on the left of the Ricks are though, with the trio marching to battle. The trailer has plenty of unexpected returning characters to spot, with Mr. Meeseeks first appearing in Series 1 Episode 5, Meeseeks and Destroy. This shot alone throws quite a lot of questions such as, what is this huge palace-like structure? When in the timeline of the Citadel of Ricks is this? And was there some kind of war we didn't hear about? Also, why is the animation style different in this shot with an emphasis on shadows and shading, giving off a three-dimensional effect compared to the usual 2D style? Could this be a unique way of presenting a flashback or even a flash forward? Now moving on to this sequence, we have both Rick and Morty surrounded by these creatures who are being controlled by these facehugger things, as the pair wrap themselves into a force field and suit up Power Rangers style, the two adventurers becoming super armoured, katana-wielding samurais. Rick jokes to his computer about the unnecessarily badass suit-up sequence, showing off the show's great level of self-awareness and its parodying power. The colour on both suits are a little off, but Morty's armour looks to be a copy of the mobile suit from the Gundam anime, manga, video game, film and action figure series. And Rick's suit, it resembles a version of the Ronin mobile suit from Gundam. Then we get the scene which adds the final element of the Rick and Morty formula to the mix, as the pair argue over Rick's ideas as usual, with this facehugger-like creature playing possum and trying to attack in a well-timed moment, with Rick and Morty seemingly in hiding from these two creatures in a world full of slime and barnacles and aim to use the dead facehuggers as camouflage. Now the next sequence has Rick battling against a barrage of acid from a futuristic but medieval cannon, manned by these two figures in a room with architecture made of skulls and bones, with Sanchez guzzling a random chemical before casually growing a few sets of arms, taking on the cannon head on. It's mad and brilliant. 20 seconds in and we've got comedy, parodies, mystery and mad science. The boys are definitely back. The next shot shows us Rick throwing his sarcasm at a complaining Morty as their car is attacked by the face-hugging creatures, including a possessed humanoid who's donning a lab coat. Could this be Rick? Is this an alternate dimensions Earth with the world taken over by these mutating, face-hugging things? They're almost like disgusting starfish, reminding me of the mind-controlling DC villain Starro the Conqueror. Noticeably, the pair don't have the slime on their shirts that we saw in the previous part of the trailer, suggesting that this is set before that shot, and as usual, Rick isn't wearing his seatbelt, while Morty is. A subtle hint at their styles and characters' attitudes. We get this quick look at Rick fighting a huge arctic wolf in the snowy landscape overlooked by these two statues, which look like armoured polar bears, a bit like the bears from His Dark Materials, carved out of ice. I can't work out much from this, but it's a mad scientist fighting a huge wolf. What more do you need? The next shot has a possessed or paralysed Morty having his consciousness or some part of his life force returned to him, as this gloopy version of his body circles him, holding a remote in its hand. Rick watching unimpressed as this device emitting the energy appears to put his grandson back together. Now we have this short scene as the pair discuss jumping into a vat of acid if it all goes wrong, with the background full of industrial chimneys and warehouses, with Morty agreeing to the plan before quickly realising the madness his grandpa just spewed from his alcoholic mouth. All I think of when I hear the words vat of acid is the accident at Ace Chemicals, with the Red Hood falling into the vat and becoming the Joker, and one of the origins for DC's clown Prince of Crime. Now moving on to the next shot, which has Morty at the trigger of the car's new gunner seat, with the teen blasting lasers at the Starro assailants as they try to weave through the buildings coated in the slime and mutations of the facehuggers. It's worth saying that this civilization appears to be underground, as shown by the holes with the night sky being made visible. I love how epic this dogfight looks. Our next returning character, and another dogfight, is one all the way from Series 1 Episode 2, Lawnmower Dog. We have Snuffles aka Snowball, Morty's pet dog. Last time we saw Snuffles, he'd become super intelligent thanks to Rick's invention. This led to him planning a canine rebellion and planned to swap the roles of humanity and man's best friend. In the end, Snuffles realised the pain and misery this would cause, so embarked on a journey to start his own civilization of intelligent dogs in a new dimension. The idea itself inspired by Justin Roiland's rejected TV pitch, Dogworld. Now looking at the trailer, it seems that this doggo is fighting a battle against the army of intelligent cats, who also have robotic exoskeletons, the classic conflict between dogs and cats realised with massive guns and lasers. God, I love this show. This next shot has Summer being worshipped by these face-hug people as she orders them to capture Rick and Morty. Now it was this shot that made me realise that underneath the little aliens are creatures we've seen before, in Series 3 Episode 5 The Whirly-Durly Conspiracy. Also notice, the creature on the bed next to Summer isn't possessed but has many of the same characteristics like the style of the singular eye and the colour scheme. Is this creature the source of the possession problem? Looking at the next part of the trailer as we get some SWAT teams storming the Smith house, Rick unimpressed and Morty shocked. Could this be the pair getting summoned by the president once more? Or has the treaty formed in their last episode broken down? I mean, Rick did kick him in the balls 5 minutes ago. We get this quick shot of Jerry flying through a tube with a backpack on, a hiking holiday gone very wrong perhaps? The series of buildings in the background are all connected with similar pipes, so it could be the equivalent of public transport, wherever Jerry has got himself stuck, or something more sinister. Now the next shot is pretty weird, as we have 3 security guard Ricks chasing after a naked Morty. Now it looks like Morty has come out of this cloning or stasis pod covered in orange gloop, and there being plenty of broken glass on the floor, which Morty is dashing over barefoot.
Shoot the glass.
The next shot has another returning character and a few Easter eggs. So firstly we have the return of Tammy, Summer's friend that was revealed as a spy for the Galactic Federation. Last time we saw her was in Series 3 Episode 1 The Rick Shack Redemption, post-credit scene as she revived her former husband Bird Person, brainwashing him and transforming him into Phoenix Person. In the same episode, Rick seemingly destroyed the galactic government, however with Tammy still on the attack and still showing the Federation logo on her arm, it means the empire of bureaucrats and bugs still exists to some extent. The trailer has Tammy and Summer dueling with glowing swords, which are more than likely references to Star Wars lightsaber duels. In the background of the shot there is a statue of Snuffles or Snowball holding another dog in his paws. This not only proves that Tammy and Snowball will be returning in the same episode, but also gives us an Easter egg from Lawnmower Dog itself, as the statue also appears in the background of Emperor Snowball's dream. In this next sequence we have the strong man from the Series 4 title sequence giving Morty and Rick a flurry of kicks and punches as the pair don't want to fight back. The way the building's designed looks kind of similar to the palace from the opening shot of the trailer with some hints of classic sci-fi sets, but other than that I'm not too sure of anything else. Nearly at the end now, as Rick and Morty both jump into a vat of acid, which again could be calling back to comic book origin stories like the Joker, and in some instances, Harley Quinn. It's worth noting the acid looks suspiciously like one of Rick's portals, however it just means they've got to hop into the right vat of acid. How hard can that be, right? We then get this quick scene at the table with Jerry still trying to gain respect from his family, but ultimately, still failing. His grasp on family life still slipping, with him even having to label a bottle of honey as his own. Still having the classic sitcom family-like scenes are great to see. And that's basically it for the trailer, spare the title card and the final clip which shows Rick and Morty slicing and dicing through the possessed whirly-durly people. That is the trailer breakdown for Rick and Morty Series 4 The Other 5 starting May 3rd. These episodes look great, full of fun, creativity and plenty of jokes. I can't wait for the Snowball and Tammy episode, not to mention the other 4 episodes which all look brilliant. With all that said, what did you think of the trailer? Was there anything you spotted that I didn't? If so, put it in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit that button, and if you want to see more Rick and Morty videos, let me know and click that subscribe button too. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.